You're listening to Hashtag No Filter with Zack Peter. That's me, your naturally platinum blonde pop culture connoisseur. I'm the reality TV junkie, self-improvement addict, and host with only the hottest tea spilled fresh weekly. For more hot takes, go and give me a follow at Just Plain Zack. For really funny Instagram stories, I'm chronicling the lives of my neighbors across the street. I'm doing some fun TikToks, dancing in the shower. It's a good time over there. And if you want to keep up with the latest show news, follow at No Filter with Zack. It's real funny over there. You're not going to want to miss it. So today's guest, I'm really excited to chat with. You may know her as the Queen of Versailles, but she's so much more than that, including a model, a beauty pageant director, and now a published author and philanthropist. But she's still the queen in my eyes. Please welcome Miss Jackie Siegel.
Oh my God. Thank you, Zack. Thank you. This is just fabulous. I've heard about your broadcast, and I'm just so honored to be on your show.
Well, I'm so honored to have you. I was watching both. I saw both documentaries last night. I had a full movie night. I had my popcorn ready, and I was like loving every second of it. I have to say, I watched them out of order. I watched Princess Versailles, which was your most recent documentary that came out last year.
Yeah, you watched it backwards.
I did, but I liked watching it backwards because it kind of showed me the evolution and the growth. It was good. I mean, they both have so much heart to them that I really enjoyed them, and I appreciate that.
Oh my God, thank you so much. And I wish I could have been there in your movie marathon last night.
I mean, it was fun. It was a good time.
So, but I'm doing so many like other things too. I'm going to be on another couple episodes of Below Deck that's going to be on Bravo in September.
When I told people that I was going to be interviewing you on this show, that's the first thing they said. They're like, I remember her from Below Deck. And I didn't even know you were on Below Deck until they brought it to my attention.
And the thing is, like, I guess I'm not really supposed to be talking about it yet because they'd like to do their own promotions. You know, that's how Bravo works. But I guess your viewers heard it first, so.
And then they said you also, did you have a connection to Jeff Lewis and Flipping Out? I think they said.
Yeah, we did a couple episodes. Jeff was amazing. He came to Versailles a few years ago, and it was just quite overwhelming. I wanted to hire him to help us with Versailles, but he had so many projects and his TV shows just doing so amazing that I don't think it worked out because I'm on the East Coast and he's on the West Coast and stuff. But yeah, we're still in touch and stuff. But maybe he'll help me out towards the end again. Maybe I'll invite him to come back. But you know, we actually, crazy as it is, like if anyone has seen Queen of Versailles, the movie, how we stopped construction in 2008. We were back on track just last year. And then with this whole COVID-19, we couldn't have that many people in the same place. Like all non-essential businesses had to get shut down.
Right.
So they stopped construction on Versailles again.
Oof, I know that's why I'm here taping in my apartment because my studio's closed. I'm over here being lighting guy and technical guy and host at the same time. I'm wearing all the hats.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we stopped construction, but now we're going to start back up again. So we're hoping.
Can you fill in the gap between, so when we last saw you guys, you were about to sell Versailles in Queen of Versailles, but when we see Princess of Versailles, you guys had started up production or started up construction again. So can you fill in the gap between 2012 and 2019?
Right. So we never sold Versailles. We decided to keep it. The bankers at the time of 2008, during the financial crisis, forced us to list it, so we did, but no one ever bought it. I mean, I guess no one had the $100 million at that time. Everyone was suffering, so I got lucky and I got to keep it, so I'm still with it, and I plan on finishing it. So after the movie The Queen of Versailles, like, it kind of leaves everyone hanging, like they didn't know what happened after, if the house got done or not. We did a show called Wife Swap, which is still, like, they can get it on demand. And it was a lot of fun. We had our 8 kids in it. And so everything was going great. Like the economy was back. Like, like my husband bought a football team. He got a private jet. We bought the Las Vegas Hilton, which I host the Mrs. America, Mrs. World at, by the way. Yeah, so I mean, like, because I'm very involved. In fact, I'm wearing my Mrs. Florida T-shirt here, and then and everything was going like picture perfect. My family, the 8 beautiful kids. I couldn't ask for anything better in life. I mean, and then unfortunately, my 18-year-old daughter, the oldest one, died of a drug overdose. Like, all of a sudden she was just dead. And that like my whole world, it didn't matter anymore. Like the carpet was pulled from beneath our lives. And that, like, building Versailles didn't matter anymore. I didn't care about the house. So my husband and I, we didn't go there for months. But what we've decided to do is to focus on our lives. It's a new leaf in life with the Victoria's Voice Foundation to save lives. And our goal, I mean, we've been doing so much with our foundation. I mean, we're going on a national level, and you'll be hearing a lot more about us. I'll have to talk to you a little bit about a launch I'm doing on Tuesday in Las Vegas. But like the drug epidemic is actually getting worse with this COVID-19, and people are stuck in their homes. They're not getting, they're losing their jobs. They're getting depressed, and if they're turning to drugs, alcohol, drugs, whatever. But the fentanyl, because the drugs nowadays are laced with fentanyl. Mm-hmm. On the street, like a lot of them are, and so the death rate is up 200% from last year. So
that's wild. And watching The Princess of Versailles, which is the new documentary, that's really where we see, I have to say, one thing you guys do really well in both documentaries, but what was really refreshing in the most recent one is you're so candid and open with everything. I mean, from the moments right after her passing to you going back and going into her room, like you share all of those moments. And I know that there have even been some critics that were like, I remember you caught some heat for like taking photos of the coffin at the funeral. And so I know people have judged you for that. For me, I've always kind of looked at it as, grieving. There's no one right way to grieve. And I found that it was really cathartic watching your journey. I've never lost a child or a parent, but I appreciated being able to relate to your experience. What do you have to say to critics that may not understand your grieving process?
Well, the thing is, the people that are criticizing me in the way that I coped with the death of my daughter are the ones that have not lost a child. Anyone that has lost a child, embrace me. Anyone that has seen the Princess of Versailles documentary that I put on YouTube, and it's for free, by the way. I'm not making any money. My reward is hopefully it helps people to save lives. And I want the critics to know, if anyone watches this movie, especially someone that is a drug addict, they will understand. They may do an overdose and die, but it's the people left behind, the family and friends, the people that love them are the ones that suffer for every day for the rest of their lives on earth. So I'm just hoping it can influence them in that way, to think twice about buying a random pill at a concert or on the street.
It was interesting.
You don't know what's in it.
It wasn't until watching your documentary that I heard about what a farm party is. And that's where kids are just raiding their cabinets and just like doing a free for all and seeing what they get high off of. It's crazy.
And they're just mixing, like it's a big bowl of pills. I mean, they may go raid on grandma and grandpa's cabinet or whatever, or Aunt Bessie, and and they come and they just pour the pills in there, and they're drinking and popping these pills. They don't even know what it is, you know. But I'm just hoping that after seeing this movie, the kids are going to think twice about doing things like that. Because I tell you, even my kids, I've got teenagers and all the way up to 21 years old. So far, since this COVID-19, they've lost 3 friends.
Wow.
All drug related.
How did you coach or help your kids or the family, being the matriarch kind of the household? How did you, because obviously as a parent, you have to grieve and go through those emotions, which you were very open about, saying that you're not very good at processing your emotions and it took you a while to kind of work through that. But how did you help, because you have so many other children that I would imagine that was very traumatic for them to experience as well?
I don't think I did a good job. It was awful. I was so sad. And like I said, like I felt like, why me? And until I got the strength to start talking about it. Well, you know, actually, when the night Victoria passed, after the funeral, what I did do is I got a bunch of mattresses and I put them in our great room, and our whole family, all the kids and me and my husband and dogs, we had a big slumber party. So we all slept in our great room for a few nights together. Aww. So I mean, we did show each other love, but the thing is, it got kind of hard. We all got so depressed. And we probably should have gotten counseling, but like for me, I'd rather like put my feelings away rather than bring it out. And we all kind of separated our family a little bit there for a while. But we've all gone through our mourning, and we've got like an extra strength right now. And I've got my one son, Drew, who's 17 years old. He's becoming an influencer. And I'm taking him out to Las Vegas on Sunday. And Sunday at our Westgate Las Vegas resort, we have a huge party bus that I'm actually dealing with some issues right now because it just broke down. It's in Texas right now. But
no.
Yeah, but it's this huge bus that we're going to like have the influencers on and go across the country and communicate. Each influencer has between 500,000 to 2 million viewers, and they're all like teenagers, and that's who we want to reach, because we want to show them that these influencers, they're basically, since they're friends with me now, I've been taking them on trips, and that they're doing fun things like jumping off of cliffs, wakeboarding, jumping off of the stratosphere in Las Vegas. They're seeing things that they never did before, and had they been doing drugs, they wouldn't have this opportunity to be involved with us, with the Victoria's Voice program and Westgate. So, and their influence, and it's giving their viewers some amazing things to watch and enjoy, you know.
And that's really what we need right now is content that keeps us engaged, and content that keeps us focused away from, you know, just sitting with our thoughts or watching too much content that's too dark and that kind of gets us stuck in that cycle of depression. I know even your twins, they wrote a book, right? Oliver Uncollared.
They did.
And that was kind of their catharsis and their way of grieving their sister. Was that your idea? Was that their idea? And how did you support them on that endeavor?
Well, when we went through our grieving process, the twins, they were only 8 years old. They didn't understand what drugs were, and they didn't understand how their 18-year-old older sister could die just so instantly and without warning. And I told them, let's work on a project together. And I encouraged them to write a story about a dog. And our dog, Oliver, his It's basically like for tweens, like 12, 13, 14, year old reading about our dog that was left home when we went on a trip, and he just gets into mischief with like the bird, the bunny rabbit, and all that stuff. So it's kind of like the movie Home Alone, but it's based on a dog. So it's along that premise. And they also have some fun activities at the end of the book, like how to make dog treats, like dog biscuits. So we have like a cooking recipe. We have how to make a bling dog collar. So it's engaging. And then at the end of the book, for the parents, we do have like some education for them. Because my husband and I, we did 5 years worth of education going up to the DEA in Washington, D.C. In fact, I'm meeting with the drug czar next week. By the time this is broadcasting, actually the same day, I'm meeting with the drug czar. So, so it was just a fun thing for the twins,
That's awesome. And we even see this shift in your husband, David Siegel, who is known as a very successful entrepreneur. We see him in The Queen of Versailles, and he's very much focused on not letting go of the company and staying, on top of profits. And then we see him in this new documentary, and he's like, my life has totally shifted. And your life is now focused on advocacy and focused on helping other families. And we see really candid conversations of you coaching and counseling other families through this. How do you feel like your priorities, because he talks about how his priorities went from work to activism, do you feel like yours were similar? And how did your priorities shift after the passing of Victoria?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have a total different outlook on life. And I think when what happens is because some people, they do recognize me from when I was in the Queen of Versailles movie, and they know my story. I guess I must have, like, her name and my name were all over the news when she passed away. I didn't watch TV during those days.
Right.
But I heard it was like a Good Morning America and Kathy and Hoda and all that stuff. And it just like I find out, like, so with everything that we're doing, I'm able to, right now, everyone wants to save lives.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone knows someone that's doing drugs, or someone that's has some sort of a dependency problem, and also it's like a support people with mental health or depression, because it all intertwines. Some people self-medicate because they're depressed. So I just felt if I did, as a mother, and I know my daughter is behind me on this, everything is falling into place like clockwork. I mean, I just, so many people start foundations when their child dies, right?
Right.
But they don't know what to do. Like, they say instead of sending flowers, send money to, the David Smith Foundation, or whatever, and they don't know what to do. So we finally, it's taken us time, and we've figured it out. And I know you wanted me to mention about, like, we're the ones, me and David, that got the bill passed for the Narcan.
Yeah, was that the CARES Act?
It's the CARE Act, but people wouldn't know what that is. But it's about getting the finances to put the Narcan in every first responders' cars across the nation, and they're using it. I mean, I talked to the police chief here a couple months ago, and his department used it over 1,000 times.
Can you explain, because I wasn't familiar with it until watching the documentary, can you explain the role that it plays in helping to prevent drug overdose?
Okay, so no one knows what Narcan is, but if everyone knows, like, anti-venom for snake bites. Mm-hmm. So basically, Narcan is like the anti-venom for opioids, whether it's heroin or pills, like, Percocets and all that stuff. So it brings the people back to life. They have about a 2-hour window. So if they're dying and turning blue because their lungs and everything are shut down. And they inject them with the Narcan. It's just like you can put it in their nose, or they have also a needle form that you can put it in like in their arm or leg. But the nose one is much better. And all of a sudden they start breathing. You have 2 hours to get them to the hospital and flush out their system and save their life. But it basically blocks the neurons from the brain of getting the opioid.
Wow.
Oh, it's called the Lazarus drug.
It's awesome. I mean, and I love you guys really fought hard for that, and you went to, you got the law actually passed, and you even showed that you got the president to sign it and send you a letter back. And like, I think the work that you guys are doing is incredible. What is your next sort of mission with the Victoria's Voice Foundation? Like, what are you guys looking to tackle next or in the future?
Okay, so our next thing, we're also going to start the Victory Clubs, which is a drug-free club. We're going to do it at large. Originally, we were going to start like in every school. Now, I know Nevada, because we have a big presence in Nevada, and also in Orlando here, we've got some schools that are adopting the Victory Clubs. The Victory Clubs is an incentive program for students that all they have to do is agree to be random drug testing or subject to it. Doesn't mean we're going to drug test everyone, but they know that they could be drug tested, okay? But in the meantime, we're working on these benefits, and we're not quite ready to launch it yet because we still got to get the benefits all in order, like discounts at Subway, discounts on their car insurance. We're trying to find a car insurance company. We're in talks with a few of them. Can you imagine if your insurance was like $600-700 a month, but we got it down to like $250, just because the insurance company now will agree to it because they know you're going to be a safe driver as far as not driving under the influence. So we're trying to get all of the benefits in line first before we start having the kids take the pledge to incentivize it. I mean, and if the high schools that are involved, we're going to let the Victory Club kids make sure that they have premier parking, like in the front, like in high school. They can park right next to the school instead of out in Timbuktu. Maybe better seats at the football games, or we're working on concerts. I mean, it's going to be like so amazing. So we're all in talks with that, but this whole COVID-19 thing put a little damper on some of this stuff, but it's going to be so amazing.
That's awesome. So since we are stuck in this COVID situation and most of the country is still locked down and, a lot of people aren't working and we're stuck at home and depression and anxiety and suicides are even going up, what advice do you have to any parents out there that might be listening that, may suspect that their kids may be on drugs, may know that their kids may have dabbled in drugs, but what advice do you have to prevent another situation where they might lose their child to an overdose?
Well, I would tell the parents they should probably order my Victoria's Voice book. It's on Amazon, Victoria's Voice, and it's her actual diary. And they can see that, like the progression of when my daughter was 12 to when she was a teenager until she finally died at the end of the book, this could be going on behind their child's closed doors. I mean, I didn't know this side of my daughter. And if, my husband's a billionaire and it happened to us, it could happen to anyone in the country. I mean, drugs has no discrimination against race, religion, financial background, anything. So I want it to be an eye-opener for them. And also, if their teenagers read it, they'll know that they're not alone with having some depression issues or not being good enough. And unfortunately, my daughter, feeling all this stuff, she did turn to drugs, but she dies in the end. So hopefully that could be an eye-opener for them too. You know what I mean? And so the parents also, just because that they say you have to stay at home and don't go out, there are other options that we can all do. I mean, I
Right.
don't know like, if some people have pools. I mean, I live in Florida, so, or a lake, try to do some outdoor activities. I mean, I take my kids, they go boating almost, well, we have a boat on the lake, a ski boat. So, I keep them very active. So they're not sitting in their room and they're not just like on their phone,
Locked
you
into a
know.
device and detached from the outside world. I think that's a really big issue. Is too many people are focused in on escapism, mostly through their devices and social media. That
Yeah.
they're not acknowledging the emotional turmoil that they might be feeling inside.
Oh, and I do have a YouTube channel. It's
Yeah.
called the Real Queen of Versailles. Actually, everything for me, like my Facebook, Instagram, is the Real Queen of Versailles. And once in a while, I'll do a TikTok. I'm not like real good at it because I'm not a dancer, but I tried. And my
Oh my God, I
last one
love
I
it.
did with some of the influencers was I don't know, kind of funny, but I got a lot of views from it though.
I'm
But
gonna have to watch
and,
that.
and my kids are like, "Oh, mom, really? It's like, well, you
One
hang
thing that
out
I
with
really
young kids. That's what you got to do."
Oh yeah, I made my mom do some TikToks in quarantine too. We did a lot of fun stuff. I know one thing that I really love about you is you really are just so unfiltered and open with your life. Is there ever a point where you are cautious about sharing certain parts, or are you just for the most part an open book?
Well, that's my problem. My whole life I've been an open book. So, I mean, I get criticized for that too. But yeah, I mean, what you see is what you get basically with me. And I just I've got so many like offers and stuff coming up right now. I mean, I'm thinking about doing a TV show about finishing Versailles. To
Ooh.
finish it? Yeah. So I may do that. So we're in talks with that. And um and maybe something on Broadway. So we'll see. So I got like a
Ooh.
bunch of amazing like things that I want to share with the rest of the world because uh, whenever I go out, they say, "What are you doing next? What's going on?" So I'd rather just do something and tell them.
Yeah.
And also, yeah. So pretty much everything I'm doing it's just because I want to be there for my fans
Yeah.
because I love them. And there was something I've been doing like videos like share here. What's that thing where people can have me send a personal message?
Oh, Cameo.
Oh, Cameo. So I signed up with Cameo. So I've been
Oh
doing
my
that
God, I
with my
love
fans.
Cameo. Oh, I
And I'm
love
cheap.
that.
I'm cheap. I'm only $20.
I love that.
Yeah, if anyone needs a birthday wish or someone like a lot and some of the stuff, some people have been depressed and just needed like a friend to, give them like, some words of encouragement. So I mean, I've been having fun with that. I mean, I don't always have I have some makeup on today, but I mean, sometimes I'll just be in my bathrobe or my bathing suit by the pool or whatever I'm doing. It's like, hey, Michael,
I love
how you doing?
that. So, to close out the interview, so we normally start the interview with our icebreaker questions, but I still want you to answer them even though we're coming to a close. It's 5 quick questions, and it's really for us to kind of just get to know you a little better. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so first question is where did you grow up and what part of the world are you currently living in now?
Okay. I grew up in upstate New York. People that don't know New York, I grew up in the farm country in New York, up towards like Sarasota, um, and stuff like in the mountains. So a town with like 20,000 people. It wasn't that much. So I'm a small town girl, not a New York City girl. Although after college, I did move to New York City, um, which was amazing. But now I live in Florida. Orlando, Florida is my home. I love Florida. It's amazing because when you look at like when there's a blizzard going across the rest of the country in the wintertime, I'll be sitting out in my bathing suit reading the newspaper or sitting by the
Ah,
pool, not realizing the rest of the country's paralyzed,
that's
from a
so
bad
funny.
storm. So
A fun fact, what's one thing people would not expect about you?
something people would not expect about me. Uh, well, they probably would expect it, but I sleep with all my dogs. I don't know.
Really? How many dogs do you have
Yeah.
now?
Oh, we got 7 of them.
Oh, wow.
And they're not all small. Some of them are big, like a golden retriever and like a big and
With
like a
your
big
husband
hound.
too? All of you guys just in one big bed?
Yeah, well, our bed looks like a giant. It's like kind of a round bed. It looks
Okay.
kind of like with a frame around it. It looks like a giant crib, kind of. But and the dogs, we have like a little stairs going up to the bed for the dogs to get in. So they're just they all have their spot, and they're all just like kind of around us.
I love it. What is your drink of choice?
It used to be a Cosmopolitan, but now that they invented White Claw, the seltzers, I'm really enjoying that, especially because I like to put it over ice, and it's always hot down here. It's refreshing, and
I love a good seltzer moment.
I don't have to worry about like limiting myself as much.
Yeah.
Like
You don't have to worry about calories or sugar.
right, because there's a lot of sugar in the Cosmopolitans, and I always figure one Cosmopolitan is not enough, but 2 is too much for me. So
It's easier to pace. No, I love it. Okay, last icebreaker question, which is my favorite question to ask. If you had to be reincarnated as a Kardashian, which one would it be?
oh my, I would be Kim Kardashian of course.
The OG.
Yeah, she's amazing, and no matter what, she's one of those people. She can just wear her hair back in the tightest ponytail, and her face still looks beautiful. And I love the courage that she has, especially living in Hollywood, to try to go and do great things in life.
Yeah.
To try to make a difference. Like she's doing stuff besides just doing a TV show.
Yeah, she's really tackling the whole prison reform and trying to make change in the world. Like you got to give the girl credit.
Yeah, that takes a lot of courage, because I know people can, some of that seems political or not. So I don't know. It's kind of a gray area, but you got to be careful nowadays.
It's true. So, Jackie, thank you so much for chatting with me today. Where can people go to support your foundation, Victoria's Voice Foundation, and keep up with you? Give us your social media handles again.
Okay, everything for me is The Real Queen of Versailles. So, The Real Queen of Versailles on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I think .com, right, Sherry? I don't know. I don't even look at my own. Yes. I got a social media girl for that. But yeah, I think it's all .com too. So everything, The Real Queen of Versailles, and Versailles is VERSAILLES.
Yes, and then Princess of Versailles is available for free right now on your YouTube channel, which is The Real Queen of Versailles, right?
That's correct. And there's also other movies. Like I was in some monster movies and things like that I have posted on there. Yeah.
I'm going to have to check those out.
Yeah, and I, what is it? From the Munsters, Dracula. Is it Jeff Lewis? Well, that's before your time. But I've got a few famous people that are in that movie.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jackie. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me and all of the advocacy work that you're doing to help people, that are struggling with addiction or that have children that may be struggling with addiction. It really is so incredible. So thank you so much for being a voice in this world and for taking all of the criticism that you get from people for being so open and honest. I think it's really refreshing.
Oh, thank you and thank you so much for your positive energy. I love it, and all I want to do is give positive to everyone else.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for listening to #NoFilter with Zack Peter. Everyone needs to go get a copy of Jackie's book and check out her foundation, Victoria's Voice. And don't forget to get your kids' book, Oliver Uncollared, which is also available on Amazon right now. You have so many great, incredible resources available for people. So everyone, please go support Jackie and go watch The Princess of Versailles, because it's really good and it really will pull on the heartstrings. Thank you guys for listening. You can give me a follow at Just Plain Zack or follow us on the show at No Filter with Zack to stay up with the latest show news. Give us a 5-star review because I love that validation. And be sure to get ready. We have new episodes coming next Monday. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.